Alright, when we divided fractions in the past, when we had something like this 1/2 and we're dividing it by 1/8, what we did is we drew pictures. So here's my big bar right there. I've got to talk about 1/2. So that means I got to break this up into halves. And then I better talk about my 1/8, so I better break what I have into 8 pieces. You can just check right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what I see is inside my 1/2, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 1/8. Excellent. I've got an answer. That's 4. But we don't always want to draw a picture. It takes a lot of time. It doesn't work for all the problems. So we need a new method. Our new method is sadly not KFC. Instead, what we want is KCF, or keep, change, flip. Here's how I learned this from Mr. Soto. So, keep the first fraction, and don't ask why. Flip the second fraction, and multiply. Let's see how this works for our problem right here. We're going to keep the first fraction. The C means we're going to change that division sign into a multiplication sign. And the F means I've got to flip the second fraction. So my numerator is going to be 8, and my denominator is going to be 1. When I multiply across, 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Here's my next problem, and I've got 3/4 divided by 9/10. Same idea. 3/4, change the division to multiplication, flip the second fraction, 10 and 9. If you'd like to do some bang, bang, or boom, boom, gone at this point, you can, but I'm going to multiply across. 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 9 is 36. My greatest common factor is 6. So when I finish doing the division, I've got 5 over 6. Let's add a note here about a vocabulary word. When we flip a fraction, what we're actually doing is we're finding the reciprocal. If that's kind of hard to remember, reciprocal means flip a fraction, we'll just focus in on the sip. That rhymes with flip. So you're really flipping the fraction. So if I start off with 2/3 and I want the reciprocal means flip 3/2. So let's do a little bit of practice. If I start with 3/5, the reciprocal is 5/3. Flip the fraction. If I start with 1/10, the reciprocal is 10 divided by 1, and remember, that's the same thing as 10. But wait a minute, what happens when I get to 7? 7 isn't written as a fraction, but it is a rational number, so we know we can write it as a fraction. Remember, we can write 7 as 7 divided by 1. So when we take the reciprocal, we just flip that, 1/7. So let's finish off with a word problem. We've got 5/8 quarts of lemonade to share among 10 people equally. How much lemonade does each person get? Hey, take a notice here. We got that share equally there. So we know we've got a division problem. We've got to start with how much lemonade we have, which is 5/8, and divide it among 10 people. How are we going to do this? Well, remember, we've got to keep, change, flip. So keep the first fraction, change to multiplication. Hey, how do we flip that 10? Well, we think of that as 10 over 1, so that's times 1/10. In this case, what I think I'll do is boom, boom, gone. So I'll write this as 5 times 1 and 8 times 2 times 5. Boom, boom, those are gone. And what I'm left with on the top is a 1, and on the bottom is a 16, and that's 1/16 of a quart. And that's how you divide fractions.